Hello, Facebook world. How are you today? Welcome to our live this week. Someday we're going to let you know when we're going live again instead of just showing up. My name's Amy Parson. I'm a holistic health coach and helping people improve their health. Go ahead, Mary.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mary Beasley, and I'm a family herbalist and an aromatherapist, and love helping others learn about herbs and essential oils to help them with their health.
Okay, today we're going to talk about something super important. So, the title that I put was this might be killing your brain cells and bringing disease to your body. So today we are talking about drum roll, stress, right? So we all have stress. And one reason that this has been on my mind a lot is that I got this awesome new job, and it's at this one-of-a-kind facility. I'm going to link it in the comments. This is like a plug for them, but they're not, they're paying me to, work there, but they're not paying me to advertise on Facebook. So it's called Awesome Relaxation. And the whole purpose is to use therapies to reduce pain and inflammation and stress. And it's just a really amazing idea and a one-of-a-kind place. So check it out. And if you're in Utah, come visit me. Okay, so stress, right? When a person or an animal is stressed, there are hormones that are flooded into your body, right? We kind of know about that, right? Adrenaline. We talk about adrenaline. So, a zebra running away from a lion is going to have adrenaline, and there's more than just adrenaline, but that's one of the things. And what that does in your body is it basically like shuts down everything that you don't need right then, right? So you want to put all of your energy into fleeing and getting away. And so everything else in your body is going to be like, okay, we don't need to grow right now. We don't need to reproduce right now. We don't need to heal right now. We don't need to grow. Just everything else stops. And that's what those hormones do, is they're physically like stopping everything from and so that you can put all your energy towards fleeing. And then that increases your heart rate and that increases your blood pressure, because that helps your body like go too. So the problem is, right, that we're different than zebras, right? We're not an animal that can just like turn off those hormones right away, because so as soon as zebra's not stressed anymore, those hormones turn off and things return to normal. However, we are thinking beings, and so we can stress ourselves out just by thinking, right? A zebra is not going to be like worried about the test they're going to take, or a work situation that they have to deal with, or how to help their child through something difficult, or anything like that, right? But we do. And that's why we're human, right? We are thinking beings, and we can stress ourselves out just by thinking about being stressed and the things that we need to do and upcoming things. And so for us, stress is basically a constant. And I think in our world, right, we live in a stressful world. And, it's debatable. Like 200 years ago, was it as stressful? Definitely, I think there are some things that contribute to our stress, like social media and, just the abundance of information and, I don't know, lots of little factors. But, they had stressful things 200 years ago too, but maybe they were able to deal with it better. I don't know. Anyway, so we have to figure out how to deal with it, because there are so many negative consequences of constantly being stressed, right? So heart attacks are more prevalent because you damage your arteries and they build up plaque more frequently. Ulcers, your immune system is down. This is really fascinating. So I'm also going to link to a National Geographic documentary about stress that I watched. And the link is weird, though. There's a couple of glitchy spots, and I tried to find a link without them, and I couldn't. So I'm really sorry about that. But really fascinating, and it's about a few different people who study stress and do tons of tests, and have been for many, many years. Like this one man who studied this troop of baboons and how stress affects them for 40 years. He's been studying them. I don't know how old he is, but many years, decades that he's been studying them. Anyway, so this same guy, they did this study on rats, and they stressed, took one group and stressed them out consistently for a long time. Well, what they found, which was really fascinating in their brains, is that their neural pathways were really small in the stressed rats. So literally, stress can kill your brain cells, and it targets the hippocampus. Hippocampus. I'm like, hypothalamus? No. Hippocampus, which affects your learning and your memory. So, like, those are big deals, right? Those are a big deal if you can't remember, especially in the short term. So, you stay up all night studying for a test. You go to take the test and you can't remember anything. It's because of those stress hormones. And those stress hormones are just, if they're constantly going, then they're just your hippocampus is constantly marinating in that and not able to do what it needs to do. Okay, sorry, checking my notes. Okay, another really crazy thing, and we may, talk about this again another time, but something that they've found is on your chromosomes, you have these caps. Maybe you've heard of this. It's kind of a popular topic right now, but they have these caps that secure your chromosomes called telomeres. Over time and with age, they start to get shorter and shorter. And guess what stress does to them? It makes them unravel faster or get shorter faster. Once those caps are gone, your chromosomes can actually unravel. So stress can have a big effect on your body. So there's also, when we reduce stress consistently, there's been lots of studies, and I'm just going to read a few of the benefits, kind of similar to the negatives, right? The opposite. So you're going to sleep better. You're going to control your weight easier. You're going to have better absorption of nutrition. Yay, that's what we love. Your immune system is going to be boosted. You're going to recover faster when you do get sick because of that. You'll have decreased anxiety and depression. You'll have less muscle tension. I can keep going, but I think we're going to revisit this topic again because it's super duper important. But that's when you consistently do things to reduce stress. So what can we do to reduce stress? I'm sure that everybody knows a few things and has been taught a few things. So I'm just going to list a few, and then Mary's going to talk about some other things we can do. Exercise. I think we all know exercising regularly reduces stress, right? I'm sure most people have been taught that. Another thing that they found that was really fascinating in this study is when you are socially connected with people who are like you. And I mean, being socially connected with people that are different is fine as well. But the specific thing that they were talking about was mothers who were raising children with disabilities, and they formed a group, and basically a support group, and would meet together weekly and talk about things. But what they found is that they studied these women because they're under a lot of stress, right? Not only are they young mothers, with young children, but they have specific challenges that are super stressful. But they found that if you can increase telomerase in I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but in your body, then that helps your telomeres. And so they studied these women, and as they were socially connected with people who understood what they were going through, that's why I said like-minded people or like individuals. But it still works, if you're helping somebody that's different than you. That I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that too, but their telomerase increased as they did that. So being socially connected, being compassionate, and serving other people increases your telomerase. Cool, right? Eat healthy foods. I think everybody knows that we should be doing that. Another one, put your phone down and your computer down. Take breaks from your phone and computer, because all the studies show that increased screen time increases your stress. And that makes sense, right? We live in a society where perfection is like glorified, right? Perfection is what we're all looking for. And what do you find on social media? I mean, there are people who, put things out there that are vulnerable and put things out there. But in general, when I'm scrolling through my feed, I see how wonderful everybody else's life is. And I think I'm the only one who has issues, right? That can only increase my stress. And all of the studies are saying how bad it is for our mental health, which is one reason I've been really restricted with my kids on what what social media they can be on, how often, what, none of my kids have iPhones or iPhones, smartphones or iPhones. Yeah. All of those phones. None of my kids have those yet because I feel like they don't need it yet and they don't need that pressure. But you know, everybody's got to make their own decisions, but no judgment here. Okay. So another thing that I personally added to this list. So I got this list from a website, but I knew some of these already. But one thing that I think we can do is to consciously like try and take down that perfection in our mind and not dwell on that and dwell on that comparison. And then to revere those people that we see who are consistently using these methods to de-stress. Like if we can consciously like change our own minds, then that can change, you know, if we're all doing that, that changes the world. But, you know, try not to revere that perfection. You know, sometimes we revere that mom who is, I can think of one specific person that I totally admire because she seems like she's got it all together, right? She's working full time, but she's there for every kid activity and she's part of the PTA and she looks good and, you know, exercises every day as far as I know. And, you know, but reality, that's not her reality. I'm sure that's not, but that's how I feel about her. She's kind of intimidating. I love her, but she's kind of intimidating to me because it looks like she has it all together. But just remember, none of us will have it all together. Anyway, so, you know, kind of consciously trying to take that down from ourselves and just be compassionate towards others. Okay, I'm almost done. So another thing that was on this list that I was so happy about was consider supplements. So when you're stressed, your body is using more and more minerals and vitamins. And right, just think about that. Like when you're stressed and you're breathing harder or your body's pumping harder, you're obviously using more. And there's studies been done on specific supplements, you know, specific vitamins and minerals that you become deficient in. So take the 90. That's my little thing. And then lastly, just do think you have to be consistent. And this is something I'm terrible at, but you have to be, in order to see the results, you have to be consistent. So you know, whatever it is you choose to work on, you have, you know, if it's exercise, then be consistent in exercise so that it will help over time. Because also this stress stuff is over time, right? You're not going to get stressed necessarily today and have a heart attack, but in 20 years you might. Anyway, so just be consistent. That is all. Time for Mary.
Thank you, Amy. So I have the consistency down with exercise now. I'm really proud of that. Like I have been going to the gym regularly every morning. Thus, I'm still in my workout clothes because, you know, stress catches up to me really fast during the day and I haven't even gotten ready for the day yet. But the one thing I'm lacking that I was thinking about with stress is my sleep. I don't get enough sleep. And so then that just is like a cycle, you know, that just adds
Snowball.
more. Yeah, a snowball, that's the word. A snowball. So it's so true that we all have stress. We all have different kinds of stress in our lives. And so I was thinking this morning, trying to decide exactly what to talk about, but I was thinking about essential oils and which ones do I use for stress? And I really thought, as I was thinking about it, I'm like, any essential oil is probably going to help with stress, you know, and it depends on what kind of stress. Is that stress manifesting with pain in your body? Is it more emotional? You know, is it because you're not getting enough sleep and you need more sleep? But all of those, an essential oil can help. And I think I don't want to necessarily talk about any specific oils, because we all have different ones maybe in our home. But I want to invite each of you to just grab an oil. If you're feeling stressed, just grab an oil, whatever's closest to you. As you're walking by and you see it, grab it and just smell it. And that alone is going to help bring that stress down. Now, granted, if it's one that's more of a stimulant like peppermint, it's going to bring your energy up. So if it's right before bedtime, you want to, you know, maybe grab one that's more calming to bring, you know, to help you start to relax. But I invite you to let me know what oils do you have, and I can help you know how they help your stress, and try it out. Grab whatever oils near you and just smell it. I need to do the same. I was thinking about it. I should have grabbed an oil right before getting on to these Facebook lives, because we're such introverts that this seriously causes me stress to come on here. But it's important to us to share that with you. And so I know that there's oils and things out there that can help regularly. We just need to use them and know how to use them. And so that's kind of my message today, is that we're here to help. Yeah, there's all the supplements, the essential oils, herbs, everything. So just pick one of those things that's going to help you. Like Amy said, whether it's exercise or sleep, be consistent, supplements, grab your essential.
Don't let this live stress you out. Just
no. Just pick one. Exactly. So that's our message. Get rid of the stress in your life. We need to practice it too. I need to practice it.
Breathing.
Exactly.
Okay. Anything else, Mary?
No, I think that's good.
As always, we're here to answer any questions. We'd love to chat with you, love to help you with your health. And we hope you have a health empowered day and that you do something to reduce your stress today. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Bye, guys.